Okay, I think we're on. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Um, Eric, hi, Erica.
Hey, Sean. Whoops, hold on. Bad me. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, don't need that echo. Hello,
Okay,
everyone. Hello from sunny California, where the
and
heat never stops.
it's sunny Michigan at the moment. Okay, so we're making this video, a follow-up video to reply to the comments that we got on our last video with Generation Z, the up-and-coming generation. So one of the things we got was that we're leaving them a big mess politically and economically, and there's no denying that. Um, and the two kind of go hand in hand because it's a lot of times it's because of poor legislation that you get these economic uh, and and actually environmentally messes. Um, so we can talk about a few of them. You got Fukushima, you got the Horizon event in the Gulf of Mexico. You got shale oil drilling up in the Dakotas, all making a big mess for you guys, leaving for you guys to clean up.
That and a bunch of greedy people that like power and money. That's my biggest.
Yeah, that's where most of it is.
And believe me, I deal with those people too. So I feel bad that you guys have to deal with them, but we deal with them too, and it's yeah.
Yeah, and it's the money that really allows these things to happen because we know the lobbyists in Washington pay people off to let these things happen that really shouldn't. So our best advice to you is to try and in the future when you become voters or if you're voters now, get rid of the lobbyists in Washington and term limits.
Actually, get rid of Washington.
Yeah, that would help. That would help a lot. But I don't know. How do you feel about term limits, Erica?
I think that people should always have term limits because too much power and too much time they get lazy and they get greedy and they need to be kept in check. That's what our whole country was built on. Well, it was supposed to be is checks and balances, and I don't even see that happening now. I don't see certain parts of our government being checked and by the other parts the way it's supposed to work, the way the Constitution wanted it to work. So yeah, term limits is a great way to not let any one party, whatever party, and I think parties are a joke anyway, Republican, Democrat, I think that's a whole other story. But yeah, term limits, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah, people get too comfortable in there, and the lobbyists know who to go to. Get some fresh people in there, and things could change.
Yeah, backroom deals.
Okay, so another comment was on the churches, and a lot of them seem to be focused on money, and I can see where that'll turn people off, young people from wanting to go to church. It's all about the money, and there's no denying, that happens. But they're straying from how it was supposed to be. That's not how Jesus set things up. It wasn't supposed to be about the money.
No, plus those churches, I'll admit I've seen a couple episodes of the Joel Osteen, and he's all talking about how, you're going to get rich and stuff and just have faith and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, we're working our butt off and we're not getting rich. And the only one I see getting rich is you and your church, Joel Osteen. So something's wrong
Right.
with this picture, Yeah, talk about imbalances. I don't know, churches like that, I think that their motive is not along the lines of what Jesus Christ wanted us to be and the way he was as well, which was actually truly humble and the opposite of what the people in power, most of them, are like today.
Right.
In fact, I do, if it's okay, I have like one little small example here. It was one time when I think it was at the Last Supper. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jesus and his followers, also called his disciples, they went up there to the room, and Jesus actually washed their feet, which is a total sign of humility. You know, I mean, usually like a ruler or something, he'd be like having people get down and like do whatever he wanted them to do. And so anyway, but he made the statement afterwards. He said, do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, because that's what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth. Slaves are not greater than their masters, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them.
Yeah, so I put that in the show notes, but that's from John.
Oh, yeah. John chapter 13, verses 12 through 17.
Yeah. So the thing with that is, back then in the day, everyone wore sandals and you get dirty feet when you walk around. And most people would have a servant when you got to their house who would wash your feet for you because they were all dirty when you got to their house. So this was really humbling for Jesus as a servant to get down and wash everybody's feet. And it's just an example to everyone else. If I can do it, if I can humble myself to help someone, so can you.
Absolutely. Man, the world, people would get along so much better if people didn't have self-righteous attitudes and power trips and all that.
Right. We can set our egos aside and help someone when they need it. That's the message.
I think actually that's the truth. That's actually a sign of someone who is truly more confident and comfortable with their own self. Someone who doesn't mind like being humble and helping people, because you know they're all there. It's like they're good with themselves. Like who cares? You know, be cool, help people.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's confidence, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so another thing that was mentioned was depression and suicide. And that seems to be a lot of it these days throughout society, but also with Generation Z, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
been there.
And the answer seems to be to take drugs, maybe legal and illegal, to try and overcome them.
Been there too.
But if you just look into the Bible, there's ways to overcome it without the drugs. Many ways to overcome the depression, and the depression is what leads to the suicide.
I think that each case is on an individual basis, and I think that some cases that if drugs can help, by all means, go for it. God gave us the means and the brains to come up with things to help ourselves, and so I mean, in some cases, if it helps, I take ADD meds, and I probably will till I'm like a grandma and stuff. You know, well, actually, I won't be a grandma because I don't have kids, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying not to take drugs, but I mean, when it first onsets, if you're having problems, you can look at the Bible.
Yes.
And if it doesn't help, there's nothing wrong with taking drugs to get yourself right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I was going to say, you know, what's funny actually is that everybody's looking for a quick fix, and antidepressants usually they can take about up to a month to work. And of course, there's illegal drugs too, but we all know that has a come down and all kinds of hosts of problems. But talking about quick fix, you say, and just an honest talk to God, tell him that, you know, you're having a hard time, ask for help, ask him to watch over you, and you will be surprised at all of a sudden how it can give you a feeling of peace and comfort. And to me, it's like that's not a placebo effect, you know. Just like if I was just talking to a wall, the wall's not going to make me feel that much better. So for me, that says that that's just another indication that God is real and is listening.
Yeah, and for those thinking of suicide, don't do it.
Totally, do not.
No, you're valuable, and that's a very selfish thing to do, is suicide, because you're denying everybody else you, and we need you. Everyone has value.
Absolutely, please, man. I'll give you. Call me.
Right.
You know,
right.
Seriously.
Right.
And if anybody is having those kind of thoughts, leave a comment, man. We'll be glad to talk to you, because we're no professionals here. We're just two people that love Jesus Christ and want to help other people and want to get along and have the world get along. I know lots of people here, but anyway, yeah. So your guys, please, and we love your comments anyway about anything in general. Disagree, agree, whatever. Please comment, and thank you for the past comments on the past video too. So grateful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and we'll answer all the comments. We will, whether we like them or not. We'll answer them. Okay, another thing was we were asked about people who are gay. What does the Bible say about that? And it does comment on it, but I think most people get it wrong, and that's just my opinion. Others may disagree with me, and that's okay. So my take on it is it's mentioned in the Bible and frowned upon not because two people love each other. We're told to love each other. And if a man loves a man, a woman loves a woman, they're doing what they're supposed to do. So that's not wrong. And a lot of people think it's a physical act that a man and a man or a woman and woman do with each other. And I don't see that either, because what they do is not much different than what the heterosexuals do. What I feel it is that it deviates from God's original plan. His plan was one man, one woman, to procreate and repopulate the earth. And a male and a male and a female can't do it naturally. So that's why I think the main issue is it deviates from the plan.
It makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know the answer, but what your thoughts, that totally sounds like a viable thing. And I never was really clear on the reason. I mean, I know what it says in the Bible, but and that's that. I personally I love people, and if you are a cool person and have a good heart, then I have no reason not to love you. That's my personal take on it.
Yeah,
I don't dispute what God says, because God made us. God made us, and so He knows infinitely more than we ever will about His plan and everything. So I don't dispute what He says, but I'm not God, and I'm just a lowly little human, and you guys are humans, and we're all humans, and I want to get along with people, and that means any race, any color. I don't care. If you've got a good heart, that's what I care.
Yeah, I think if people live a peaceful life, they should be left alone. It's up to them.
I mean, there is something to be said about any, like, hetero, homo, bisexual, conducting yourself. I don't think it's a good idea or admirable to go sledding yourself around to clubs and for just sex. I think sex without love and a commitment is not going to lead to good things for anyone. It's a temporary pleasure at best. So that I do have my opinion about.
Yeah, and that leads to a lot of problems, what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
You think you're having fun, but... And
girls, oh my God, I could do a whole nother program. But girls, my God, I need to do a program with you, because that's one thing I have some good experience with, you know? It's not going to get you anywhere by having sex really quick with a guy. Believe me, they won't love you for it, and they will move on. But that's a whole other story, and I could go off on a bunch of rabbit trails. So, next.
Okay, and another comment was that they just don't believe. It's not that they choose not to believe. It's just that they don't believe in a higher power. And if that's where they are, well, that's where they are. It doesn't make them a bad person, an evil person. They can still live a good life, but I would encourage them to look at the Bible just for advice. Even if they don't want to believe, there's still a lot of good advice from Jesus in there on how to live a good, peaceful life without stress.
And also when you're young, I mean, when I was young, I was just reckless, out of control. I will say that much. I did not care if I lived or died. I really didn't. I didn't care about consequences for a lot of things. I happened to be brought up in a family who believed in Jesus Christ, so I did believe in God from the start. At a young age. However, I went and just went crazy anyway. But when you're young, you tend to like not worry about like deeper. Sometimes I think, or at least in my case, I didn't worry about deeper things. It was about having fun and whatever. But someday down the line, maybe it will become a curiosity to you, like, why are we here? All those like huge questions that sometimes they might come around. And so maybe, who knows, maybe we're introducing something that will come in handy later, or that might give you something to think about later.
Right. And you never have to give up on anything, and if you don't have a belief, that is a belief. Your belief is no belief. So everybody has a belief, no matter what it is, even unbelief.
There's that one song that always comes to mind by Ozzy Osbourne, and right, Ozzy. But, so the lyrics are, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. That always stuck in my head.
Yeah, you make a choice even when you don't choose.
Exactly.
You can't get around. You can't get away from it.
Yeah, Ozzy had a point there.
Okay, so I'd like to do a quick reading on the Good Samaritan. Do you want to read it, Erica, or do you want me to?
Is that Luke 10?
Yes.
25 through 37? I
Yes.
have it right here, so
Okay.
You tell me, whatever.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. Teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What is written in the law? He replied. How do you read it? He answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. You have answered correctly, Jesus replied. Do this and you will live. But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. Now, which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise.
Okay, this is a great parable, and it fits in well with the washing the feet at the Last Supper, because it's about humbling yourself and doing things for others that you don't even know. And what happened in this story was somebody got beat up and left by the side of the road for dead, and some people of high standing came by. The Levite and the priest, they were well-respected people. People looked up to them, and they just walked right by them. They felt, it's below them to go help this guy on the side of the road. But then the Samaritans stopped by, and the Samaritans were looked down upon in that society. They were like the bottom feeders. Nobody liked them. But this Samaritan humbled himself and stopped, helped the guy, did whatever it took to help him get back on his feet. And he didn't even know him. And if we could all do that for each other, help people we don't even know, it'd be a better world. It's just something to think about.
Good choice. Good choice. I had something like that happen this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
right.
Yeah, some girl at the park, poor girl, some guy was jogging and was harassing her and pushed her and spit on her. And she was just really upset. So anyway, I got to stay there with her, and till the police came, but it was a good feeling, man. It didn't cost me anything, and I felt really good about it.
Yeah, that's a good example. You changed your plans, and it didn't matter because you were helping somebody.
You just do what you got to do, but like I was rewarded because of it.
You were, yeah.
So, and I don't say that to brag. It just happened to fit right in because it just happened like right before this broadcast. So
after it was all done and set over, you had a peace and a calm about you.
Absolutely. Like I'm like, okay, this is what it's all about.
Yeah. Okay, I think that'll do it for today. Thanks, Erica. Until next time. I don't know what we'll be talking about next time. Hopefully we'll get some more comments and we'll find some more subjects to talk about.
Yeah, and thank you guys. It's fun to talk to you guys. I totally like it, and I like hearing their opinions and everything. So
yeah, we got some great feedback. Thanks.
Absolutely. And I want to give a shout out. I want to give it a shout out to Cupcake-a-rooney. Hello.
Yeah, thanks, Cupcake. You had some great comments.
Yeah, you did. So right on. Thanks.
Okay, God bless you guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.